Okay, let me tell you the story of how I got scammed in broad daylight. So I'm just walking through the streets minding my own business when this haggard looking guy in his trench coat comes up to me and says, "You look smart." He shows me this card, which is the 10 of diamonds, and he says, "If you can follow this card and tell me where it is, you can double your money." And I said, "You know what? How hard can it be? Let's give it a shot." So he pulls out this second card just to distract me, flips one over and mixes the cards up and asks me, "Where's the 10? I said the one flipped over, and just like that, I made $20 out of my $10. Now he adds in a third distraction card, and now there's like a small crowd building up around me. But trust me, I was locked in and I was watching the 10 of diamonds like a hawk. He mixes the cards up one last time and then he puts the 10 down on the table. And then he asks me, "Where's the 10? And I said, "Obviously on the table." But it wasn't, it was in his hand. And I was like, "What? Well, do that again. And then he's like, "I'll put one card down, let's just play with two cards, it might be a bit easy." I was like, "Okay." And then he mixes up the two cards in his hands and asks me where the 10. I said, "In your hand," and it wasn't, it was on the table. At this point I thought, yeah, I'm cooked. So he puts the 10 away, actually in his pocket, and he says, "You know what, it'll be easier to follow with just two black cards. Can you tell me where the 10 is?" And I was like, "What do you mean? You just put it in your pocket. What do you mean where the 10 is?" He's like, "Yeah, I know I put it in my pocket, but tell me where it is." So I said, "In your pocket." But then he takes out the 8 from his pocket and the 10 was in his hand the whole time. And at this point I've already lost $20. I'm like, "You know what, just don't flip them around this time, just leave them face up so I can see." And he does exactly that and asks me, "Where's the 10? I'm like, "Right there on the table." And then it wasn't. And I asked him, like, where is it then? He's like, "I keep it in my pocket when I need it for later." Then I told him, "Well, you're using 4 cards, that's cheating." And he's like, "Okay, I'll put the 10 back. Where's the 10? I said, "In your pocket." Well, and then he got me again. He then explained to me this game is called 3-card Monte and I can only win if he truly wants me to win. So even if he puts down a random card on the table, like the 8 of clubs here, he can make it turn into a 10. And that's when I knew I was cooked. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, comment Monte below, like this post and give me a follow, and I'll send you a link to a free tutorial.